John Allen Better Home Living into financial year clearance is now on.
Cooking appliances up to 50% off.
Weber barbecues, 15% off.
TVs, freezers, washers and small appliances.
In-store at John Allen Knox Ozone or johnallen.com.au.
Lawn bowling is more than just a game. There's no talking on the green.
Genuine 1972 prices.
There's nothing this soft. Just stick it right up.
Welcome to Without Bias. Local legends wanted. The Bowls Green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. Stay engaged with the sport via The Bowl Show. Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30pm.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Without Bias, our dedicated lawn bowl show on SEN. Sam Hargreaves filling in for Jack Heverin, and joined as always by the great Barrie Lester, Jackaroo, Australian Open title holder, you name it, he's done it in the world of lawn bowls. Hello to you, Baz.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sam. Very excited about today's show when you get to speak to the big man himself.
Oh, look, well, without any further ado, and you've segued it very nicely into the CEO of Bowls Australia, it's an absolute pleasure to have Neil Dalrymple on with us this afternoon or this evening, whatever time it is that you're listening to us on the Without Bowls, if you're listening on the podcast. But if you're listening to us live right now on SEN, it is evening. Hello to you, Neil Dalrymple.
Hi, Sam, and hi, Barry. How are you both?
Yeah, I'm very well, mate. I just want to cut to the chase, if you don't mind, Neil. How is your injury recovering?
Look, it's all good now, thanks, Barry. Thanks for asking anyway. We would prefer not to go into it, but anyway.
I think we now have to, given that the can of worms seems to be open. Neil, what ailment has befallen you?
So the short story, Sam. Saturday week ago, I was playing in a very low level of cricket on a Saturday afternoon, and we needed 4 runs to win, and I'm 15 not out, and there's about 10 balls to go, chasing 190, a couple of wickets down, thinking we're cruising. And I decided to go for a sweep shot that turned out to be, the ball was a bit straighter than what I thought, and managed to sweep the ball top edge straight into the forehead and gave myself a nasty gash. And a couple of stitches later, and 5 hours at Box Hill Hospital emergency, and that was my Saturday week ago.
No helmet, or what was happening?
No, that's a good question, Sam. I've got to be careful. Some people I know from Cricket Victoria might be listening, and no, I didn't actually have my helmet on, so I think I might have taken it off just for a breather. But it will not happen again, I can assure you.
Well, if you're facing some of those kind of spinners that really struggling to get it down one bounce, and that's the pace
Correct.
You're dealing with, then. Yeah. It just probably shows you that maybe the eye's not as sharp as it once was, Neil, or?
That's it, yeah. It's probably a pace of, something like a Barrie Lester ball, I think, or a bowl.
Pies.
But anyway, no.
Pies.
All good.
The best thing about the segue, though, Neil, is that you've just pointed out to everyone out there listening that plays cricket, that lawn bowls is the sport for them. You won't be getting injured played bowls, so get down to your local club, put the cricket bat away and give bowls a go. No injuries in bowls.
No, it's a good point, and that has been reminded by a number of people to me that should be my calling at 56 years of age. Bowls is just around the corner.
We do it all, of course, for the Bowl Show, Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30pm, and we do it for APIA. We're all about possibilities. So, Neil, it's great to have you on. There's heaps to get through, so let's dive straight in. Yep. Let's start at the top. COVID has hit all sports, and it's hit all sports hard, and no one has been sort of exempt from, I suppose, feeling the effects of what COVID-19 has brought, whether it be financially, whether it be from an isolation point of view, whether it might be from whatever aspect you can look at it. Bowls is no exception. Bowls Australia providing now significant fee relief to members in a big way to help counter the effects of the COVID pandemic.
That's right, Sam, and look, it's very pleasing to support our state and territory associations, who most of them have been very generous in providing membership fee relief. I mean, obviously everyone's done it tough. Bowlers certainly the same, and the pleasing thing is most bowlers are back out there playing now, but a significant part of the year has been missed, and many people missed the opportunity to get back out on the green, and so in that respect, I think the financial support from Bowls Australia, but also our state and territory associations, is important for all clubs to get back on their feet. I mean, they've missed out on a lot of revenue, so providing some fee relief is important, and I suppose a small part of our role in helping clubs to get back out there and thrive in this tough environment.
And Neil, there's 1,830 bowls clubs out there Australia-wide and around the 170,000 member mark. Do you expect sort of all the funding to reach every particular club, knowing that some clubs may be going okay and that it might definitely hit the clubs worst hit?
Yeah, exactly, Barry. Look, and it's very much our financial model in regards to membership is very much linked with the state and territory association. So, I mean, some states have been hit harder than others. And, for example, in Victoria, Bowls Victoria has provided 50% fee relief across the whole of the state. So we match that. And similarly within Queensland, where, a major part of the year, as you know, living on the Gold Coast, a major part of the year during our winter was shut down as well. So and Bowls Queensland likewise also provided significant relief, which is close to about 40 odd % as well. So yeah, we match that, Barry. So that's how it works. And so the money will flow in terms of relief right across the country.
Head to the Bowls Australia website if you want to find out more information on how you can apply for that relief, bowls.com.au, and follow the links. There's a link right there on the homepage. You cannot miss it. Neil, great to see, though, in these troubled times as well, that it's not not just clubs with their hand out, they're also contributing. The Helping Hand Fund. Talk us through this. And one club in particular, Heidelberg Bowls Club, who have put in a big amount to this fantastic initiative.
Yeah, look, we did reach out to two clubs across the country. As I say, it's a difficult one, Sam, because, I mean, some clubs are certainly, as Barry alluded to as well, that some clubs are going to be hit more harder than others. And whilst the fee relief comes in, is valuable for all, but there's even other costs that clubs have incurred, or they've just missed out on a lot of revenue. So we set up this Helping Hand Fund to not only raise money from the sport and other, from wherever individuals have donated. Heidelberg Club donated a significant amount of money into this fund, and then what we've been able to do is distribute those funds on an application basis to some clubs that have done really hard. I mean, we've had cases during these times where I know one particular club had some of their stock stolen, and so being able to help replace and replenish some stock in that case was important. Another club, we've provided the funding for a defibrillator. So yeah, some really good stories, and we're pleased to be able to, at least in a small way, provide some extra financial support to bowling clubs.
And Neil, you touched on it briefly there. There's more ways in supporting than just funding. I know your RBMs are out on the road supporting the clubs as much as they can. What are some of the unique examples? I know that I've even heard of some clubs helping out with furniture, or even just helping out volunteering at other clubs. It's amazing what you might have seen more than myself Australia-wide, how far some clubs go in helping other clubs out.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Barry. And I mean, you make a good point about the RBMs. They're an important resource. They meet, as you know, with the clubs day in, day out, and connecting clubs amongst each other in particular regions has been really important. And I think that's the beauty of bowls and bowling clubs, that if someone is doing it a bit tough, they certainly can reach out and give them a hand. And look, that's a wonderful thing about the sport. So we know that will continue, and will Bowls Australia and our state bodies and the regions and associations are certainly there to help and facilitate all of those areas.
We're speaking to Bowls Australia CEO Neil Dalrymple on Without Bias this week for APIA. We're all about possibilities, and Baz, I suppose an event that's very near and dear to your heart, being a winner of it. It's one of the biggest bowls competitions in the world, the Australian Open, now firmly on the radar. Entries opening on Friday for the June 12th to 25th competition next year on the Gold Coast. And that, when you won that, of course, would have to be our legendary moment for the week. Our local legends wanted search bowls clubs near me. Local legends wanted the bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. So I can imagine just how excited you are about this upcoming event middle of next year, Barry.
Yeah, I've played in every one of them. I've been very lucky since the inception in 2005. And it's been great how not only the Australian Open's been held in Victoria, but now for the last 5 years up on the Gold Coast. And it really does appeal for everyone worldwide. Beautiful weather, great greens, and the entries are always very high. So it's I believe the hardest bowls competition in the world to win. You're competing in all the different disciplines day in, day out, and under all the different elements. And if you can stay at the top of your game for 10 to 12 days and be there at the pointy end, you really do deserve what you've achieved. So, yeah, great event. And it'll be my first time competing in it next year and having reside in the Gold Coast. So I'll be looking to get some training under my belt on the greens they'll be being used.
And Neil, take us through how it's all going to unfold, because it's a big sort of operation that you need to run. Barrie's club, Burley, is involved in one of the 14 clubs there, but just take us through how this all rolls out.
No, you're right, Sam. It is a big logistical exercise. I suppose one of the highlights too, not only out on the green, is the trade stand, and we bring a lot of the traders and the bowls manufacturers and other kind of parts of the industry together. We have a lot of meetings that happen off the green as well, where we get people from different groups, whether it's coaches, umpires, our licensed manufacturers in terms of clothing, they come along too. So it's a festival of bowls, Sam, and I think that's the beauty of it. And I think particularly next year will be so important, given that a lot of people haven't seen each other for a while face to face, and there'll be a lot of excitement out on the green. People coming from many states and territories, and as Barrie said, from right across the world. We mightn't get as many overseas competitors this next year, but we certainly hope our friends from New Zealand will be there. But I'm really confident that we will get a big turnout and big support from Australian bowlers across the country, and they'll be looking forward to get to the Gold Coast in June next year to enjoy the great facilities that the Gold Coast puts on, both on the green and off the green.
And I think when there's a slice of $270,000 in prize money, which is incredible given the year we've just endured, I reckon they'll be coming in droves, Neil. Neil, stay right there. We'll take a break and come back on the other side, because there's plenty more big events on the calendar that we need to go through with the Bowls Australia CEO, Neil Dalrymple. Barrie Lester is here, our favourite Jackaroo. Sam Hargreaves is my name, and this is Without Bias, all for the Bowl Show. Stay engaged with the sport via the Bowl Show, Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30pm. And for APIA, dedicated specialist ready to help. Call 13 15 50. APIA, get, set, go. Back with more Without Bias straight after this.
From the wide outdoors to the great indoors, this is Without Bias.
Local legends wanted. Search bowls clubs near me. The Bowl Show, Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30pm.
Welcome back to Without Bias on SEN for APIA. We're all about possibilities into the Bowl Show, Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30pm. Sam Hargreaves joined by Jackaroo Barrie Lester and the CEO of Bowls Australia, Neil Dalrymple. And gents, we continue to move through. We've spoken about the relief that Bowls Australia is providing for clubs all around Australia. Head to bowls.com.au to find out more about that. If you're a club that needs some assistance, you can find out everything you need to know there. But we've just been speaking about the Australian Open, June 12th to 25th next year on the Gold Coast. 2,200 entries across 14 days of action, 14 Gold Coast clubs, $270K prize money up for grabs. But it's not the only big event primed for 2021, Neil. BPL is back in Feb, and it's going to be live on Fox Sports and KO. This is huge. BPL 12, every year it seems to get bigger and bigger.
Absolutely, Sam. It's we've got a big year, 2021. We've got 3 BPLs this year, so next year. So it's going to be huge, together with, as you've just said, the Australian Open, the World Championships, the Nationals, a whole lot of other domestic events. But the BPL is a jewel in the crown. It's going to be highly competitive. Moama in February, back to our friends at Pine Rivers in Brisbane in April, and then our normal November time slot for Pine Rivers once again. So 3 big BPLs. Barrie's all part of it, as of course with the Melbourne Pulse, and we can't wait to get back up to Moama in February.
How are you shaping up, Baz, the Dandenong Pulse? Are you primed in form with your old teammate Mark Casey as coach?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I've played a lot of bowls with Mark Casey over the years, and to play under him, him being our coach, would be amazing. So looking forward to that. We've got a huge support staff at Melbourne Pulse. But the thing that really stands out for me, Neil and Sam, is if you look at where bowls, growing up as a kid watching bowls on TV, you craved as many hours as you could get. And to think that we're going into the new year of looking at up to 60 hours of live broadcast showcasing of bowls is just incredible. And Neil, you and your staff and all that must be so proud and rapt to get that many hours on live air.
No, it's fantastic, Barry. And we actually had a meeting today, earlier today, with Fox Sports, and I suppose our preparations are starting now. We'll soon be announcing the schedule of what it looks like in 2021, and some of the pre-advertising that will occur for these events, and starting in February. But yeah, no, it is exciting. I think, as the COVID restrictions are certainly getting less, that means we'll have more people. We're obviously a little bit concerned about how many people we might be able to get into the venues, but things are looking pretty strong in Australia these days, so across the board. So, yeah, we're optimistic that we'll get some good crowds in and create that atmosphere that we know is very much part of the BPL.
So Feb, April and November, 3 BPLs next year as opposed to just 2, which is only good things for bowls in this country. And as I said, the BPL going from strength to strength every year. It is, like the Big Bash, it is just the rock and roll of bowls. It is so much fun and absolutely worth a look. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. Speaking of pinnacles of sporting competition, the international scene has taken a hit this year, as we know, and congratulations to you, Baz. You are going to be a part of the Jackaroos team for the World Bowls Championships. It didn't get the run it was going to this year, got postponed from May, June. It's looking more and more, Neil, like it's going to be in the back half of 2021 on the Gold Coast. 36 nations all converging on the Gold Coast. The best of the best all around the world. Cannot wait for this. What's the latest?
Yeah, you're right, Sam. It's look, we're optimistic for sure, and I think there's something to do with the vaccine that might be a bit important about it, whether we can play it or not. But look, it's we do remain optimistic, and the plans are certainly in place for September. We're working closely with World Bowls in regards to all the countries. The response from the countries has been really strong. So, and they're really they're working with us in terms of any dates. And ideally we don't want to delay the dates again. But again, if it has to be, it has to be. But I suppose all the countries want to play, and particularly the countries that are not in the Commonwealth Games. I think it means so much, Barry, to them. And they're obviously, we do focus a bit on the Com Games, and that's only just around the corner too, Sam, with August 2022 in Birmingham. So 2021 and 2022 are big years on the World Bowls calendar. So, but yeah, those countries that are not Commonwealth Games countries are really, this is their Olympics. So they're busting to get to it.
What's it mean for you, Baz, to be a part of that team again?
Definitely as a kid, once again, you speak of all my heroes growing up, they played in the World Championships and chasing world titles, as much as they're very hard to come by. But to have the coat of arms on your outfit and go out there and do your best for 25 million people, that's why we do what we do and why we train. And at the moment, it's looking at that event calendar and really trying to make sure you're primed for each event and the training's in line with it. And if the World Championships, as optimistic as we can be, goes ahead, you're ready to go and you're primed. So it is, like Neil said, it is like an Olympic event. It has got that feel about it with so many countries. And one thing always sticks out for me, I played in the last ones, and to see all the world flags are wrapped around all the bowling greens and just go, wow, this is the biggest deal in bowls. And it's amazing to be a part of it. So, yeah, hopefully it can go ahead, and we'll be primed and ready as much as we can when it does happen.
Yeah, it's as you said before, Neil, about for the countries that don't get to compete at the Commonwealth Games, and we won't even start the conversation about when bowls is going to be part of the Olympics. We'll leave that one for another day. It just goes to show you the prestige of which this event holds, and for it to be here, it's going to be incredibly exciting. Cannot wait for that. Let's turn our attention, though, to things more of at a local level, because it's, as we know what we've been through this year and what we've had to endure, one of the most important things that we need right now is to people to step back in the door of a bowls club, no matter where it is. As I say a few times, I've got Elstonwick around the corner from me, so on the day that I'm not working, which I'm not sure when that'll be, but I'm very keen to make sure that anyone I want to catch up with, that's where we go and do it. And Baz, we were speaking off air before we started tonight, and you've had a great day and some really positive signs in terms of people coming back through the doors. It's the first day of summer today. The weather, as we know, will be beautiful. There'll be heaps of sunshine. Frivolities and festivities are starting to ensue, and you've had a really good day already in that space with some big numbers through the door at Burleigh.
Yeah, we're always assessing our numbers daily. We've got an online booking system and an online calendar where we have all our bookings. And we've got from Friday 4:30 to 8 p.m. this Sunday, 800 barefooters booked in at Burleigh Heads. And that is, we'll probably round off to about 1,000 for the week. And they're just loving the fact that they can be outside, enjoy some food and beverages, some mateship. Everything's under our COVID safe plan, sanitize, social distance and all that. And we have a lot of staff out there helping them when they arrive and everything they need for our bowls. Cleaning the bowls mid sessions is going around spraying all the bowls, all the things you need to do now, and that's what's part of the program here. But I can't encourage enough of clubs out there to even reach out to clubs that are doing maybe pretty good things in barefoot bowls. I know my phone's always available for anyone out there, and to learn as quick as you can and really push it this summer, because people want to be outside having a good time, and I know of a lot of clubs that do it well, and I'm sure if they speak to their local regional bowls manager, they'll be able to help them even further. But it's going to be a massive summer for being outdoors and playing barefoot for sure.
So, Neil, how big is Barefoot, Jack Attack, these kind of initiatives, how big are they going to be in bringing numbers back through the door and getting some health back into bowls clubs who, like a lot of businesses and like a lot of clubs, haven't been able to function during this year?
No, look, it's multifaceted, Sam. It's as you've touched on, there's a financial component, which is obviously very important to many bowls clubs. So just getting those cash registers ticking over again is hugely important, particularly the year that we've had. But I think really importantly for the sport, it's actually introducing perhaps new people to the sport for the first time, and really sampling the sport is so important. And if they walk away, like I'm sure they do at Burleigh Heads, with a great experience, and this, the possibility is that they'll come back, or they'll book another party, or they'll actually come back and play in maybe a social bowls competition like a Jack Attack or a corporate bowls event. So, and then their experience with the sport might even go further than, if they're a competitive person, then this is where bowls can kind of cater for all different people and at different levels, and it's, you can run at your own pace basically. So, and the great thing with bowls is that it's so accessible. There is a bowls club around the corner, just down the road, where you can go and sample the sport. So I know myself, I've had a few calls from different friends and business colleagues who they're looking to book their parties now, and it's great that the phone's ringing, and that's very encouraging for the sport.
That's a beautiful place to leave it. We couldn't encourage you any more if you're listening right now. There's Bowls Australia CEO Neil Dalrymple, Barrie Lester, myself saying find the local near you and go and check it out. You might just find your new hobby and passion in life. Bowls.com.au is where to find your local club near you. Gents, that's all the time that we've got. Thank you so much, Neil. Really appreciate your time and insights. It's been great to have you on.
Yep, great, Sam. Thanks, Baz.
Thanks, Neil. Good luck in recovery, mate.
Yes.
I've recovered, don't worry, so thank you.
There we go. Neil Dalrymple, Bowls Australia CEO. Local legends wanted. The Bowls Green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. Barrie Lester, always a pleasure, never a chore, mate. We'll see you next week.
Great job. Thanks, Sam.
There we go. With our bias for another week on SEN. Don't forget the Bowl Show Sundays on 7-2 from 2:30 p.m. And all thanks to Apia, dedicated specialists ready to help. Call 13 15 50. Apia, get set, go. That's it for another week of Without Bias. Sporting Capital is up next on SEN.